I'm Dr. Adam Millman. Thank you for watching. It's been said that if you sow an act, you will reap a habit. And if you sow a habit, you will reap a character. And if you sow a character, you will reap a destiny. Yesterday, millions of Americans commemorated the Memorial Day holiday, where we remember the lives of the American Armed Forces, members of the American Armed Forces. And on a recent trip to the United States Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, Colorado, with my family, in the visitor center, I came upon a photograph of a statue of one of my heroes, General Robbie Risner. General Robbie Risner was a fighter pilot for the United States Air Force. He served in the Second World War, the Korean War, and in the Vietnam War. And in the Vietnam War, he was shot down in 1965 and imprisoned until 1973. He was imprisoned for 7 years. 54 months of those 7 years, he was in solitary confinement. And for 10 of those months, he was in absolute darkness, going to bed in the dark and waking up in the dark. But when he got out, within a few weeks, he was going skiing with his family. How is that possible? How could somebody get through something like that? He said that when he would get out, not if he would get out, but when he would get out, he did not want to be a burden on his family. He wanted to rejoin them as a son and as a father and as a husband. So he exercised every day. He did push-ups and he ran in place all day to stay physically strong. So when he got out, he was in better shape than most Americans who are not in a prison and certainly not in solitary confinement. And the reason he was able to do this, and the reason why he chose to do this, was the disciplines and the habits that he developed when times were good that enabled him to do these things when times were bad. The disciplines and the habits that we develop when times are good will help us when times get bad. And most likely for us, not to the extent of being in a prison camp, a Vietnamese prison camp. He also said that he was able to get through because he had faith in the Almighty, faith in his religion, faith in a higher power, and that helped him. He also had a strong desire to return to his family, people that needed him and people that he needed. That is a strong pull. That is one of those forces that enables you to get through very challenging times. He also had dignity in his position in the Air Force and a love of his country. He felt dignity because of that, and that enabled him to survive. So it's the disciplines that he developed when times were good that enabled the disciplines and habits that he developed when times were good that enabled him to survive when things got bad. And we can look upon this story as an inspiration for all of us. The difficulties that we confront are nothing like what General Robbie Risner confronted and was able to get through. So in our own lives, when we see challenges, we look at the challenges of other people that experience much greater things, and we say, if they can do it, then I can do it. If he can find a way, then I can find a way. If that person can learn the skills, then I can learn the skills to get through the challenges that we need to get through. And don't be afraid to have a faith in a higher power, that there's something helping you and guiding you, that is giving you wisdom. And your love of your family, love of your country, and your physical and your disciplines that you develop when times are bad. These are things will help you get through the challenges. But this is not the end of the story for General Risner. In 1973, when he was released, he rejoined the Air Force. He had been promoted to general. He had been promoted while he was in the prison camp. He rejoined his family. He joined the pilots and began to fly again, eventually flying the Phantom and other planes, and was actually eventually stationed in Nellis Air Force Base, not far from where I live in Nevada. So not only did he not kill himself in the prison camp, which is certainly an option, he did not get out and then just stay at home in a room complaining about what had happened to him and making excuses. No, he rejoined the Air Force and began to fly. He then also got involved with the war on drugs through DARE, D-A-R-E, in Texas to try to help facilitate stronger laws for drug criminals. So he didn't give up. He didn't give in. He didn't kill himself. He didn't make excuses. He just kept going, rejoining the Air Force, eventually flying again for the Air Force, helping with legislation in Texas. So please use General Robbie Risner's inspirational story for your own lives, for challenging times that you may confront, and realize that it is the habits and disciplines that we develop that enable us to get through challenging times. Our connection with other people, our connection with the Almighty, pride in our country, pride in your position at work. These are the things that enable you to get through the difficult times. And on Memorial Day, we commemorate the fallen soldiers who fell in the line of duty and also not in the line of duty. Thank you very much for watching.